All right. I guess it'll be a little bit different this week. But we'll definitely start with these matchups this Friday. So we got the Archers and Woods. Automatically, I'm thinking Gittleman over Troutner. Troutner has a 35 save percentage. Quite honestly, he's been getting worse every year. Just watching him play, I think teams are just starting to kind of figure it out. Like it just the mid-range shots just fucking kill him, and the Archers have such a good. I mean, they're so good at playmaking that I think that the Archers are just gonna fucking smoke the. I really can't. I can't see a situation where I could just see it now. Just Matt Moore from the behind the net giving it to either Will Manny or Marcus Holman, and them just picking corners, or Tom Schreiber just up top running in and just fucking picking a corner. I could see it now. So if there was a over under for this game, which there is, let's find it. That's a high fucking over under though. So I don't know if I can go with that. I wish there was one just for the Archers. I think I can't see this because I'm in the state that I'm in, so that's tough. Goalies, I gotta go with Archer though. Defense, I'm really not too sure. Garrett Epple has probably been the best defensive guy in the league. Um, and then on the other side, you still have guys like McMahon and whatnot. So I couldn't really put my finger on which one of these teams is better defensively. Midfield, Archers. Um, Even if you think personnel wise the Redwoods could be better, it's just their offensive scheme is brutal. Attackman, Archers without a doubt. Face off, I'm going to go with the Woods just because Ignacio ain't it for them right now. Previously, um, had Holman with 5 points, Perk with 4 points, Cav with three, Schreiber with four, Trey, Ambler, Ament, all with three. TD 74% from the stripe. Um, Troutner with 58%. I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about this matchup for the Woods, but I think it's going to be an easy Archers win. They've really had their numbers in the last few matchups. Let's see what the odds are real quick. Archers Redwoods. That's it's tough either way. Even minus 1.5 for the Archers is minus 125. It's gonna be a tough one to bet on. I think I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. I think I might go with the under. I have a good feeling about the under in this game. Whips and dogs. I mean, it's just the Whips. If the Whips don't win this game, then they're fucked. Like I don't know what you're doing with your life, but absolutely fucked. This is the last game, so this is over. I'm going with the under. Um, I think that just makes sense. I think Michael Sowers is questionable. Hold on, let's take a quick look. I believe it's that Withers is still out. DiNapoli's out. Schlosser's doubtful. So Sowers is back in. All right, so maybe yeah, maybe it's a bit of a higher scoring game just because Sowers is in, but I don't think it's going to hit over 24. And I really like the Whips next year. I'd even take a minus 1.5. And as you can see from some of the previous games, Ethan Walker with on a half bad game. I think these two teams have played each other already. Yeah, and the Whips won in overtime too. And we'll see who plays in net. I mean, right now they're sticking with DeLuca as what it seems like. So, wouldn't be surprised if Dylan Ward came in. Atlas and Chrome. I got the Atlas more or less. I think Concannon has definitely been the better goalie statistically wise, but Scanone, I mean, more or less had one fantastic game and one like pretty subpar game, and other than that, it's been more or less stagnant. I think that the Chrome have the best defense, though. I think their defense is best in the league. So, going with them for defense. Midfield, neither of these midfields are particularly fucking good, to be honest. As weird as that may sound, coming from two of the best teams in the league right now. The attack, you gotta go with the Atlas. Um, just with Law, Teat, and Gray. I mean, they've dipped down a little bit in terms of productivity, but they're still like the guys to beat. And face off, TB is the best in the league. So we've had the Atlas win three of the last matchups, one being in the preseason. Casablanca had a big game. I don't really see that happening anymore, though. Um, I don't know. Scanone 38% last year. Probably wouldn't imagine that happening again. Concannon 56%. I could see it. Um, I like Concannon in this matchup just because I also don't think that the Chrome are going to have the ball all too often. So that defense will be well rested and they'll be able to do what they have to do. And this is week 8. Yeah, Casabio with no. So maybe if you're feeling lucky, go with Casabio, but he really hasn't. I mean, he's averaging like a point and a half per game, so it's a tough bet. Next, we have the Chaos and the Cannons. I think that right now, the Cannons have the better goalie right now. Defense, I think the Cannons have the better defense. The Chaos have kind of been leaving Blaze out to dry. Midfield wise, I think the Chaos for sure. Cannons midfield has just kind of been slack, and I thought that they were going to be better. Like I thought Steven Rafis was going to have a bit more of a role, but it really hasn't seemed to go that way. Attack, I got to go with the Cannons. I know Frazier, I know Byrne, I know Keefe is there, I know Cloutier's back. Um, so we'll see, but I think just having Lyle Thompson is just different. They have Shane Jackson down there too, so who knows? Who knows what they'll end up doing? At face-off, I'm gonna go with TK here. I think TK is a bit better than Stephen Kelly. So this will be the battle of the Kellys. And the Chaos have won the last two games, one being in the preseason, one being in week 4 of last year. Byrne 5 points, Smith 4 points, O'Keefe 4 points, Cloutier 4 points, Newman with a half decent game, Adler being the face-off guy against absolutely nobody. On the other side, Rafis with a not half bad game. So I imagine it to be a little bit more like this in terms of the chaos. Can't remember what I said though. Oops. Can't remember what I said. I like the Cannons plus 1.5. Hmm. I might just take them money line instead. I think that's the go. And damn, is that all 4 matchups? Anyway, so we'll get into this part now. You have Will Mannion in attack and Dane Smith at midfield. I like Liam Burns on defense. Face off, I went with TD just because the Archers, I'm not really sure, have anybody. Concannon, I thought, was the best goalie at the price for 2, for reasons I mentioned before. And yeah, I mean, Will Mannion's going to absolutely destroy Tim Troutner. Like even if his skill set, Tim Troutner's skill set, is more like a Concannon like, all right, don't let them shoot the 2 ball, don't let them shoot those mid range, but um, just the ability for him to catch and shoot. Same thing with him and Marcus Holman too. Like I just can't imagine them not tearing up the fucking Redwoods. I just can't. The amount of fucking stupid turnovers the Redwoods have, and how bad their offenses just looked. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a fucking tough game to watch. Dano, I like Dane against the Cannons. I just like Dane. I'm a big Dano guy, MVP of the NLL, so I think that he's got the thing to do. Liam Burns, Water Dogs, Whip Snakes. There will be a lot of opportunities for him to get because Nardello's probably going to have a hell of a day. So I'm going with that, and I have faith that TD is going to be able to turn it around this week. Um, what I was thinking, just so what does each team need? What's each team good at? The Archers for sure attack. I mean, Manny, Holman, Ament, who's got to come back, and then you have Matt Moore. 2's their defense. Um, 3's their midfield. 4 is the goalie, even though I like Gittleman. Day after day, he's not usually their best asset. And 5, face off. Excuse me. Um, so this is my thought. You have the older veterans with Manny and Holman. Obviously, you're not going to trade Manny, so maybe you trade Marcus Holman. Maybe you got a face-off guy back and a couple picks. Maybe like a second rounder. Um, we'll get into it. On the Dogs, their midfield is deep. Their midfield is deep. So congrats to them. They've got a whole bunch of fucking assets there. Two is their defense. I like their defense overall. Last year, I mean, they were all the best point getters, especially in fantasy football, fantasy fucking lacrosse. Three is their attack. Uh, Ryan Brown really does it for me. I fucking love that guy. Four is their goalie. Uh, right now, that's DeLuca. Yeah, maybe you could go Dylan Ward if he starts playing again. And then five plus, I guess, is their face-off. It's not the worst, but it's not their best asset. Yeah. So they have two goalies. If I'm a guy, I think you trade DeLuca. But if you're 0-5 going into the All-Star break and you have a 10-year veteran and Dylan Ward, probably trade Dylan Ward. Yeah, he might be the best box lacrosse goalie, arguably. And yeah, he's probably top half in the PLL year after year. But he's an older guy. If you're trading him for a good return, and we'll get into it, I think that he's the guy who you realistically should go with, and then stick with DeLuca, see what he's got. Atlas, especially if you think you're going into like a rebuild era, but I'm not sure if they're that far yet. Atlas, their best is their face-off. Obviously, this was tough to do. This one was tough to do. Their best is their face-off. Second and best is their attack. Third is probably their goalie. Four is probably their midfield, and five is their defense. I might honestly, thinking about it, I might switch defense and midfield, but those are definitely the bottom two. I'm thinking, do they need a midfield piece? Their best guy has 6 points in 4 games. There's only two guys with more than a point per game. Like, that's not good. That's really not fucking good. They're they lack that productivity from up top, and I think that's going to get them caught like as teams go on further adjust to Teat, Gray, and Law. So we'll see what happens. Chrome, I wouldn't even touch this fucking team. Their defense is best. Their face-off is sick. Their attack, solid. Their midfield's not bad. It could be better, but like their defensive midfield is fucking stacked, and their offensive midfield isn't half bad either. So and then their goalie, which to me is like Scanone is one of the best in the league right now, like definitely the top half of the league right now, and he's like your worst asset. Don't even touch this team. I wouldn't, unless someone's giving out like gutterdings for free, like last year with the whips. Like, don't fucking do it. And then this is me looking in. Obviously, this is going to be like the right now. Their best is Burnlore. Their second best is Nardella. Third is probably their defense. Four is probably their midfields, especially because they have won them so many games. And last is their attack. Look, there's from 1 to 5, it's not that big of a difference. Like, this is just my thoughts, and I'm like, hey, maybe you add an offensive piece because you're in the bottom half of scoring, but Zed Willing's back. So yeah, you could think, oh yeah, like, all right. Again, if I was the GM of this team, unless there's something that you cannot refuse, I'm probably just gonna leave it be. The Cannons is tough. Morocco, I like. Their defense, I like. Their midfield is not bad. Their defensive midfield is solid. Their face-off is better than last year for sure. Like, gives them a chance to win. And the attack is just like it's Lyle then who? It's Lyle then who? Just, I mean, yeah, I know you could say a couple names, but it's like 15 points, and everyone else has like five. So they got to fucking figure that out. Chaos, we have Burns, Smith, Frazier, all backs. That'll definitely help. Although their defense has 9 caused turnovers. Their midfield has 5. Their goalie has 2. Their attack has 2. That's like them as a team, I believe, total, at least here, is 14, 16, 18. 18. Garrett Epple has 10 caused turnovers just by himself. You guys gotta figure it out, bro. There are teams with like fucking 40, 50 calls turnovers in the league. You guys have 8 teams. Their best right now, unfortunately, is TK. Their second best is their goalie. Their third best is their midfield, gonna get better. Their fourth best attack, gonna get better. And defense, I don't know if that's gonna get better. That's the issue. I guess once you're once you get these other guys back, they help out a lot. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not panicking. I had definitely haven't hit the panic button with this team yet, but they gotta put a fucking win together. Their defense is their defense is their best asset. Um, it just is. Like Jack Neer, he's hurt right now, but great short stick D mid. Patrick Harbison's coming back. They just had Sergio Salcido. They just released him to bring Harbison back on. Um, they're kind of missing Nick Ocello at that spot. I believe also Carl Hartzell is out, so they should be going. Fuck, who's their other? This is gonna piss me off. Who's their other LSM? John Sexton should be in. Like that guy's a fucking dog. You got Glazer, Kenny, and Apple, all guys. And if you gotta put in Finn Sullivan because someone sucks, put in Finn Sullivan. Like to me, it just doesn't make sense how they could do so well defensively and then just like Troutner's just fucking 23% on the season, bro. I don't give a fuck what your shot opportunities look like. Like you can't be giving up 23%. You can't be saving one of every fucking four balls that come your way. There's 8 shots on net, and you're already down 6. Like what? What? You gotta make a fucking. You gotta make a stop. So one is their defense, two is their faceoff, three is probably their midfield, four is their attack, and five to me is their goalie. Look, just every year watching this team, their goalie, their goaltending, and Troutner just has gone down and down and down. I mean, they started putting in Jack Kelly. Jack Kelly's not all that much better. He's like hitting that fucking 30%. Like, just not good, man. Just not fucking good. TD's at 44%. No one besides Jules has more than 10 points. You got to trade for an attackman, for a midfielder, for a goalie, for somebody, man, for someone. So to me, this is what I'm thinking is on the market. I could see Marcus Holman being traded. I could see Pennell, Garnsey, and Cav being traded. I think D. Simone could be traded. I think Morrill, if someone's looking for a little bit more depth on that offensive side, could be traded. And I think Jackson and Drenner also could be on the move. Midfield, Jones, Leclerc, Schlosser, Crawley. Team that really like the Atlas, for example, I think could go for Mikey Schlosser just because he doesn't really seem like he gets that many reps in, but he's a good player. He's a little bit on the older side, so he's a guy that you think you could probably move. Defensive wise, a lot of short stick. Tyson Bell, Will Hoss, Matt Abbott. You got Merrill and Ray. As some older guys, like if the Cannons just keep fucking just go lower and lower, maybe you trade Merrill. Face off wise, like look if you're 0-5 going into the break, and you have Max Adler coming back. Yeah, maybe you dump TK off to the Archers and you let him fucking do his thing over there. Get them to 50%. All of a sudden your offense looks a lot better, your defense looks a lot better, Gitman looks a lot better. I don't know. I like that idea. And then goaltenders, I could see Colarusso maybe on the market. I could see DeLuca or Ward depending on which direction they want to go. Um, and just some thoughts here, maybe trade Holman or DeSimone and then some for TK. Maybe you trade DeLuca for Garnsey and a pick. Maybe you trade some picks for Rob Pennell from the Cannons perspective. Um, I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ways that people can go. I mean, I've been on the Discord. The Discord has been fucking hostile today, bro. Let me tell you. Um, but yeah, I was thinking. I mean, I don't know. Some of these guys, bro, are just crazy. But yeah, no real answers out of out of this at all. Yeah, really, really no good answers out of anybody here, which was solid. Thanks for nothing. Um, so this is kind of what I'm thinking. I think these are the guys on the market. I think those are the moves that can be made. Um, yeah, like I can't imagine a big name unless someone is selling out for a championship right now. Them grabbing someone like, look, if the Atlas went out and traded for Dan Smith, yeah, that'd be fucking crazy. Like, let's take a quick look at the stats of the players. Attack wise, I don't really know any teams that are in like that top half that are really planning to make the playoffs that would pay up for an attackman. Let me pull this up on the side. But look at the young names up here though, man. It's tough. Like Chrome, Whipsnakes, Atlas, all not really looking to move guys. Archer's not really looking to move guys. And then you got the like, yeah, maybe the Water Dogs do. Maybe they win their next game. They're 2-3, and then they move on. I don't know. I get it. It's tough for me to see a team like the Water Dogs, the Redwoods, going 2-3, and then looking for something else. Um, like Will Manny, I would believe is untouchable. Cheat too young. Nick Sharon too young. Maybe you trade Lyle Thompson, but I don't know why you would do that. Tom Schreiber untouchable. Matt Moore too young. Knowlton too young. Like maybe you trade the fucking house for Connor Kelly. Wisniewski's too young. Sauer's too young. Matt Rambo, no need. Uh, Dylan Malloy, no need. Eric Law, no need. Gutterding, no need. Brown, no need. Gray, too young. Carlson, no need. Jules, I would fucking lose my mind if we traded Jules. Justin Anderson, probably not. Mac O'Keefe, too young. Rob Pennell, yeah, and then I would say that's the first guy that'd be like, yeah, this guy's on the market. Holman, yeah, probably on the market. DeSimone, yeah, probably on the market. Garnsey, probably on the market. I wish I could fucking get to the next fucking page on this, bro. Come on, buddy. There we go. Jesus. Like Channy, no need to move Channy. Miles Jones, no need to move. I mean, yeah, I could see you moving Miles Jones. I could see Drenner being moved. I could wouldn't really imagine Brad Smith being moved. Could imagine Zach Carrier being moved. Brian Cole, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Metcalf probably out there. T-Bap, no fucking shot. Jordan McIntosh, I guess you could. I don't think it's the biggest deal. Fracaro, I think, would be a big addition for one of these top teams that really need, like, the Atlas. I think Fracaro might be a guy. Ethan Walker, I think a team that may really need, like, I mean, Chrome don't need an attackman, Whips don't need an attackman, Atlas don't need an attackman. Maybe Ethan Walker goes for, because honestly, he played that one game at attack with Sowers was out. That's where he got most of his point production from. So yeah, maybe you throw that to the Atlas for some midfield guys. Even the Archers could use like another depth midfield guy. CJ Constable, I wouldn't fucking trade anything for him. He's been the best fucking guy on the Chaos. I wish you got to figure out fucking Costabile, man. You got to get him more involved. An 8% shooting percentage, like, come on, buddy. How? For Carl, it's 7%. That's not fucking good either. Salam, I wouldn't fucking move him. Westberg, I don't think he really matters. I guess you could move him. I don't know who would want him. Kyle Jackson, Dan Picaro, Jack Hanna, maybe Trey Leclerc. And then after this, it's kind of it's in that point threshold from 6 to like Jesus. 6 points to 11 points. I think are guys who could be on the market. I don't think, and of those guys, you're not moving Brown, you're not moving Gray, you're probably not moving Jay Carlson, and you're probably not moving Mac O'Keefe. I think anyone else in that range, it's probably up for grabs. But yeah, shout out to all these people that just tried to roast me in the fucking PLL bullshit. Um, in that Discord chat. Too bad I was, too fucking good at my job to say, yeah, go fuck yourself. Someone's telling me that if I traded Rob Pannell for Dylan Ward, that that would be an unfair trade. And look, I know you might have to add pieces on either side, but like I don't know, they're both 10-year vets. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like to me, that makes sense. You're trading two old guys. And if you need something, if Matt DeLuca keeps doing his thing, and you're like, "Fuck, man, why are we holding on to Dylan Ward when we trade him and then get an offensive piece?" Say they win their next game, they're like, "Fuck, we could really do this." They get Rob Pannell, then all of a sudden, bang, they got a playmaker to put with fucking Ryan Brown. All of a sudden, Ryan Brown's got all these fucking assisted goals, and he doesn't have to worry about playmaking at all. I mean, the guy's got one assist, and he's got two assists in the last 2 years, so let him just fucking worry about goal scoring. Um, I guess you also have Sowers and McArdle, but like I don't know. That's you could throw one of them up top. I don't see that. I don't see that as a bad thing. What else did we? What else? Oh yeah, and I was saying to get rid of fucking Tim Troutner. Um, I don't know. I think that it's kind of shown in the games that he's given up softer goals. I don't know. If you're a guy that's been watching the league, I know stats aren't always going to show it. Last year he was like 58%, but yeah, it was a first round exit. Can never beat the Whip Snakes. Obviously, something's got to change. If it's a coach, if it's a goalie, we changed our face-off guy. Fuck, man, I miss Greg Garellian. If it's one of those things, you gotta fucking figure it out. Gotta figure it out. But we'll touch on this during the All Star break. We'll have some reminiscing on the season so far, and we'll fuck